Welcome to Stand Up, a Pitt Meadows podcast.
On this, the first episode of my rebranded show, you'll hear me talk to two female paramedics who are about to compete in the most fierce pre-hospital care competition in the world. You'll hear how the event is going to unfold, how they've dealt with the cumulative trauma, and why getting a dog might be the single best thing you can do to wind down. Enjoy the show. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Chris Tawes, and I have not one, but two guests on the show today. Both women are paramedics here in the Lower Mainland, and they are also teammates on a 4-person, all-female team representing Canada in the world-renowned international medical rescue competition, Rallye Rejvíz.
Yep.
Saying it right? Good.
Or just Rallye.
Or just Rallye.
Rallye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The competition takes place May 26th to the 31st in Rejvíz, Czech Republic, and they're gearing up and getting ready to kick some ass over there. Everyone, please welcome Sarah Shaw and Kelly Thompson. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you guys here. I thought we'd go back to the beginning a little bit. Sarah, where did you grow up and how did you end up choosing emergency medicine as a career?
I grew up in Cranbrook.
In Cranbrook.
Rejvíz. I was planning on going to law school of all things.
Wow.
So law school was my goal. And went to college in the States and then came back and kind of applying for law schools. And then actually, Eileen Boyd taught me an OFA free course of something I just wanted to do to pass the time.
Okay.
And Eileen, my understanding, is now 61 Alpha 1.
Okay.
So she has moved to downtown Vancouver, which is like full circle. So she's the reason I'm here. She's in Vancouver. And then I realized I kind of wanted to be an ambulance driver or attendant versus an ambulance chaser.
Right.
So I switched, decided that, maybe law school was not where I wanted to be, and then went into PTP school and then on from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you end up going to the school in the States?
Colleges in America offer a lot more scholarship money than Canadian schools do. So I was a musician growing up. I played violin and trumpet. And then I went to like band camps. You can make jokes about that. And I met a lot of people down there in schools, and they really recruit from some of these camps. And then I went to Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I went there for 4 years and, still keep in touch with everybody down there.
Yeah.
A lot of Americans are, a little embarrassed with today's current climate.
Yeah.
But, I keep in touch with everybody.
Yeah.
And then came back here and decided to go a different way. And, it comes back full circle.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot from like Canadians that are down in the States. A lot of people are like, we're sorry about everything going on. We hope it's over soon, right?
Yeah.
Kelly, what about you? Where'd you grow up and how'd you get started with all this?
I grew up in North Vancouver.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. I actually wanted to be a paramedic in high school. And it was the one thing I wanted to do. And I ended up, similar to Sarah, I got a scholarship to go to university in the United States as well.
Oh, wow.
I went to school in California. I was a water polo player, so I had an athletic scholarship there for a little bit. And when I came back from school, because I didn't like the States anymore, I worked for a few years and then, did my EMR training, licensed, and then I enrolled in PCP school, and that was over a decade ago, and here we are.
Yeah. That's true.
I think you'll find the other team members are a lot more athletic than I am. I was a music geek. I think Sarah plays rugby. And Magda is definitely a volleyball player.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. She's tall.
Yes, very athletic stuff in this competition. All them. So, good job from the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good segue. So let's get into that a bit. How excited are you for the international competition? Rallye Rejvíz
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I think this will be my 5th time going.
That's amazing.
In I've been as a competitor twice with Canadian teams, competitor once with the British team, combined British team. I won once as a judge. And then this year will be a team that I'm kind of organizing on my own and trying to get like everything that I really enjoy about the rally and everything I experienced that I thought was beneficial. I'm trying to like pass that along to other people instead of the
Sure,
same
they'll benefit a lot from it.
group of people going. So I'm excited to see people that I think are very like-minded have their first experience. And, you know, I totally love it going and all the benefits that it's given me. I hope to keep that to them.
So tell us about the team that you've assembled.
Yeah, so this team, when I assembled it, I'm looking for people that are good travelers. So a lot of it is, oh, well, this didn't work out, we have to adapt. Um, People that are a little more rigid in their travel abilities, I say, have a lot more trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So flexibility is key and, being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Like we gotta get on this crappy train now when we were supposed to be on this, fancy plane or what have you. The ability to adapt is key.
Yes,
And
right.
like people that you can get along with outside of the call. I've worked a lot with Kelly. She's got pulled over to work with me in the West, and I really like working with Kelly, so I figured seems a good one to have on our team. And the other two ladies, I've worked with Magda, and she was again very adaptable and flexible. And then also Sarah can really highly recommend it. And everyone's traveled. I know Sarah's competed with what's it called?
World Police and Fire
The
Games.
World Police and Fire
cool.
Games,
Yeah.
and she's gone for rugby, so she's also a world traveler. So all three can very highly recommend it.
Yeah. So I know Magda works in North Langley,
Yes.
Station 267, and then Sarah works at
Richmond. South
Okay.
Richmond, yeah.
Yeah. And you're in New West and you're in North Vancouver.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then I'm in 57 in Maple Ridge. So
And also with this competition, a lot of it is being able to think outside of the box. So knowing your skills and your ACP protocols, and then they'll throw things at you, and you just kind of have to adapt and think outside the box. So a lot of experience outside of work and outside of like the typical JI call that we
Right.
for is really beneficial.
Why don't you sort of tell us a little bit about what the layout of the competition looks like? I know I was researching some of it, but I thought you'd probably be better off explaining kind of.
Yeah, so it's in its 29th year, so they've really had a time to tweak it. And it's every year, it seems like there's a new country onboarding. Like this year, I think we have Croatia for the first time,
Croatia, cool.
which will be cool. And how it works is you show up with your team. If they're local to the area, they'll drive their own ambulance and compete out of their own ambulance. We clearly aren't going to be bringing an ambulance. So
You're not
they
very press line.
no. Well, wouldn't that be interesting? So they give you like an old Czech ambulance with a driver that typically doesn't speak a whole lot of English. And at the beginning, you go like, "Oh my God, how are we going to do this?" And you just roll with it.
You just roll with it.
It's a good time. So they will give you a schedule, and we're team 1, I believe, on the list. And we registered super quick. We're team 1, and you'll be assigned to an ambulance and a driver, and then you'll get a list of you need to respond to this sim at 04:15 a.m. and this sim at 16:20, and then you'll show up. They'll give you a little piece of paper with a little brief description, which I tried. Is sometimes a red herring. Don't always take it literally about what you're going to go into, and then you go in and you do the sim. And there's locals and there's paramedics and firefighters and police there, and they all participate. And there's makeup, there's moulage, there's injuries. A lot of these calls are what we call halo calls, so high acuity, low occurrence.
Okay.
So the shit that you're like, oh my God, this could be career ending, but then you do 6 in a row. And it's okay because it's in a sim.
It's in a sim.
Supportive environment.
But it's really realistic, isn't it? Because they have actors with like, special effects and, probably like blood.
Bystanders coming and yelling you and pulling you. And we had like a firearms, a weapons call.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And then the other thing that's really interesting is our competition is happening right next to a police competition. And it's a very like tactical, like SWAT type competition. And that's running alongside us, and you intermingle with them throughout the comp, and you do at least 2 where they'll pull in like a TAC unit, and they have to kick a door down and drag a guy out for you to treat.
Oh, that sounds super fun.
And then they're like, doing their thing.
Yeah.
Not in English. And, you have to make it work, and it's a good time.
So
a lot.
I was reading about it. So the competition layout is like 40 square kilometers. Like, it's kind of around that.
Exactly. It's around a couple of small towns.
And you do up to 12 scenarios, I think, over a 24-hour period. Yeah.
you have an assigned amount that you have to do, and they schedule you throughout
Yeah.
the shift.
So the start of it is when you kind of go into the ambulance and you get taken to the call,
Yeah.
and then you do the sim, and then you kind of go on to the next thing.
Yeah. And there'll be
And then-
breaks in between.
Yeah,
and
there's a
time for you
there's
to
a
go
lunch and a
eat.
dinner,
Yeah.
right? And then the night portion starts at 7 at night. I think I read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all just kind of melds in.
Okay.
You're up for the
You're
whole
up for the
time.
whole time. Yeah.
You have designated times when you nap. I don't know if I actually sleep because you remember being on a pager.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, the and
Yeah.
so I don't know if you actually sleep. You get some downtime in there, and you get some debrief time.
Mhm.
You'll do good calls, and you'll do bad calls, and you'll kick yourself like, oh, that thing.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
you know a good team will like learn from what they just did and then apply it and move forward.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that you having your experience is going to be great for the prep, kind of the flight over, and then just
Yeah.
getting settled in and just kind of like,
Letting them know
okay.
what to expect. is kind of the
100%.
thing. And competition medicine is different than real life medicine.
Right.
You know, not every patient will you go in and be like, I want 2 large bore IVs.
Right.
You know, it's overkill, unnecessary. But
Right.
in competition medicine,
Yeah.
want
You're getting
points.
marked. You're getting
You
checked
know,
on
I'm
at all.
telling
Yeah.
everyone to give antibiotics, 2 grams
Right.
of Vencef for everybody,
Yeah.
and you know, I don't.
No.
But it makes you really think and dig deep into the like our treatment guidelines where normally
Yeah.
we would maybe stop once we transport to the hospital.
Right.
We're doing the whole thing.
Well, you're on a timer though too, aren't you?
You're on the timer,
yeah.
so you
So
want to
this,
get it all done.
yeah.
At that time.
Yeah.
Get all the points.
So Kelly, have you done it before? Have
I've
you gone
never
to-
done this before. It
Have
was
you-
one of my first shifts with Sarah, and she was like, "You should come to Europe."
Yeah.
I should. Yes.
Kelly's really good at that.
Yeah.
That what is it? The je ne sais quoi, where she can think outside the box.
Mhm.
We went to a call with someone that required a lot of sedation. There was a lot of moving parts, and I was like, "Oh, Kelly's really good at this." She stayed really calm, and like police are yelling, and people are freaking out, and you know, there's some awkward access egress issues, and we made it work. I'm like,
Mhm.
she'd be good at this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then you had the money and the availability and
Yeah.
you're ready to go, right?
So
Yeah.
the money we fundraising.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
We are still fundraising.
Oh, you
So plug for our event on
Yeah.
April 21st at the Starlight Casino in New West.
Okay.
We're having a beer night.
Burgers and beer.
Burgers and beer.
$35 gets you a burger and a beer or a non-alcoholic beverage if that's more your jam. And there's going to be a 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all
So
the
far we've had quite a few people RSVP and people
Yeah.
who can't go or buy.
yeah.
So,
And so you can
Yeah.
remotely buy it. That 50-50 ticket. if you're
Okay,
not able
cool.
to attend in person.
Probably have to post that because this
Yeah.
episode's going to come out a little bit after
Yeah.
Yeah.
that date. But
Well,
I
what
would
we
love
can
to
say
get
was
people
the
out.
event was a
Yeah.
great success.
Yeah.
We earned thousands and thousands of dollars. So thank you, everyone.
Exactly. It's an invite and a thank you
Yeah,
happening
exactly.
right now as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So tell me a little about the town. I mean, like it's a small, cute town founded like 500 years ago or something.
Yeah,
And
it reminds me of like small ski town,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
Roslyn.
I haven't, but I've seen pictures
Yeah,
of it.
like,
It's a cute
It
town.
reminds me of that. It's like you land in Prague and then you get on a train. And this year, I think what we'll do is we'll get on a train with the British. So Kelly's going to meet my British friends. They are
Yeah.
an absolute hoot. Usually get on the train. You know, you have a couple beer because beer is actually cheaper than water in the Czech Republic. It is. It's definitely a culture thing. And then you get off the train like right at the base of this little ski lodge, and you just climb up the hill and you're there. And it's Chateau Atco type lodging, you know, as a 1990s style old
Oh, okay.
ski lodge
Yeah.
feel to it. And there's a cafeteria in the basement and like a little bar, and that's where the base of operations is. And as far as the town, it's maybe like an hour from Poland.
Okay, yeah, it's
Mhm.
right
Nice,
up on
like,
that
little
border.
windy little road
Mhm.
up there. It's beautiful. Yeah.
It looks really nice
really
from the
like it.
pictures and stuff. Yeah. So what are the calls that you're going to be going into? You're going to be going up to 12 and you've done it before. So what,
Yeah.
can you kind of explain a little bit of what each one's going to kind of look like, the
Well,
scenarios you might be
I'll
thrown
try
into?
and give some like overall examples. I don't want to give like too many specifics
Yeah.
because we're going to be running the other teammates through, and I want them
Yeah.
to like be able to do it organically.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we will always do like one cardiac arrest. They'll throw in some weirdness. Like maybe the cops will drag the patient out, or maybe there'll be a weird toxicology component.
Okay.
There's always one cardiac arrest that you work on. And there's always one MCI that you work on. So we've
Okay.
been training with the 10-second triage. That's like the British model. That seems to work really well for us. So it'd be like a plane crash or a bus flips or something. And then there's a variety of other things. There's some, skills competitions. There's some team building competitions built into it. An example of a really fun and interesting one we did was their parachute didn't open.
Okay. And it fell from the sky.
Yeah, but at
thousands
the
of feet.
beginning of the sim, they're like, only 3 of you can go in, and you have to lug up all your equipment up this hill. And you look, and it's a ski jump.
Okay.
You're like, oh, fantastic. So you leave one person behind, and then the 3 of you pack all your gear up this hill, and you get to the top, and you're winded.
Yeah.
Right? And then they go, okay, treat the patient, but only after one person screws this tiny little light bulb into the laryngoscope. I'm like, oh my God, of course you're winded and you're shaking.
Yeah, I see now your fine motor
Your
skills are kind of shot.
very poor, and you're like trying to frantically screw a light bulb in there, and and then you finally throw them the equipment, and they can treat the patient. So
Yeah.
like, so stuff like that. And then there was there's ones where you have the whole family shows up to a birthday party, and you got to find where the actual patient is in the house.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool.
And
Yeah.
everyone will do it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And so, another sidebar, when I was a judge, I found that was super rewarding. So I went as a judge, and they had me standing in this little Czech house in a bathtub with a checklist.
Okay.
And they had an actual cop was there, and then another doctor. We were kind of like marking. And close quarters, it's muggy. And we had to watch every team come in and run this cardiac arrest in the bathroom in a tight
Environment.
quarters.
Yeah.
And I saw so many different ways to run a code,
Ah.
like the Greeks versus the Slovaks versus the Austrians versus the Americans, the British. Like everyone did it a little differently, and some had like phenomenal communication, and some were like, "Wah!" and the communication is definitely key in a cardiac arrest, but everyone did it a little differently.
Huh.
It's kind of neat to see how there's other ways to get the job done.
Right.
Whereas we all work for the same provincial agency, we don't always see, we're all trained to do it the same way. But until you step out and you go, oh, there's other ways to do this that work.
Right.
You can bring that back to BC and,
Can you give an example a little bit? Because it is pretty straightforward once you start going on to the compressions and, the airways
so like
secured.
The Slovaks were doing this I don't know how effective it was because we had a machine that was melting depth, but they would like stand on top and do CPR from up top, and then they would switch and they would all rotate, and I was like, that's interesting, but it worked for them.
So they would straddle the ball?
On their feet.
Okay,
and then you had like some teams will intubate, some teams will put in an eye gel, some teams would bring in a Lucas. Or a Lucas type device.
Okay, you can use that.
And some teams brought it in thinking it would be effective for them, and it didn't work so well for them.
Right.
So the Swiss were really effective. I believe they had a Lucas device as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully they weren't hauling that up.
How many people are in a room?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. I was thinking we'll be hauling up the Lucas on that mountain call, but Who do you think your biggest competition is going to be?
Well, my Slovenian buddies aren't coming back this year. They won gold last year. They were the team to beat. The Swiss are always amazing.
Yeah.
The Austrians are always incredible. However, they have a doctor in their group, so they kind of work out of a different set of rules.
Okay.
So they're not graded the same as us. There is another Canadian team that has a doctor that is going to, that I think that's the first time we've had a Canadian team with a doctor on board. So that's going to be neat. The Romanians are sending a team. The Cypriots are sending a team. Normally they have a competition in Cyprus, so they're sending a team finally too.
Okay.
They're very good. It's all pretty tight.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a good, healthy competition.
Yeah, the Americans are sending a team. They're always a team. Like when we won silver, they won gold. They beat us by, I think, like 20 points or something.
Oh, wow.
Just a team of two from New Jersey.
Oh, wow. I love it.
Yeah. So I don't know who's coming from the
Yeah.
States this year, so we'll find out. But it could be like fire department in New York. They're always really
Yeah.
really efficient.
Yeah. So the doctors with the paramedics, like a subgroup, isn't it? Isn't there like one group that's just
There's like the
EMS and then there's
international competition
right?
has so many teams,
Yeah.
and then if you have a doctor, you're graded a certain way, and if
Right.
you don't have a doctor, you're graded a certain way.
Right. Okay. And then the police have their own sort of
The police is like
part of
the
a competition as well.
tactical thing,
Yeah.
just on the other side of the building,
Yeah.
and they integrate it at least a couple times.
Yeah.
throughout.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And is it always in Rejvíz or is it in
It's
other places?
always been there.
It's
to
always
my
been there.
knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And then the ones that you done in Cyprus,
Yeah,
was
I
a
mean,
different one
yeah,
that they
there's
did.
competitions all
Yeah.
over the world, right? But the one in Rallye seems to be like the
The
one.
top one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cyprus. So Rallye is, I'd say, 80% ACP skills.
Okay.
That's kind of the medicine they're pushing for. There's a sprinkling of like unit chief leadership type stuff. Then there's maybe like a critical care call in there that, and if you have, critical care skills on your team, you can get extra points that way.
Okay.
Cyprus is a little different. It's only held every 2 years. I say it's more medicine driven, less emergency situations, more like a little more critical care
Okay.
in scope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it seems to have a bit of a search and rescue component in there too, right?
Cyprus,
Yeah.
they had us rappelling down a cliff to
Yeah,
get
looks
down
like
and deal with the guy with the TBI at the bottom of a rock face.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Packaging them, roping them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
And we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Hi everyone, it's me, Chloe again. Today I'm trying my first hoppy strawberry lemon soda. I'm so excited, so let's tap it on, crack it open. Whoa, it just buzzed. Ooh, don't shake it everyone. Okay, now this is my first sip. Oh my gosh. Tastes exactly how you'd think it would taste, but like way better. It has the perfect flavors of strawberry and lemon, and it's really nice and sweet, and I love it. Today we're going to try the poppy soda, strawberry lemon, and I'm just going to open it right here. Please don't explode on me. Oh, it smells delicious. Smells like lemonade, but better. That's so refreshing. I bet you could get one of these at anywhere you want to go. And I think it's 100,000 stars out of 5. And this is Lincoln. See you next time. I bet you could buy this anywhere you want to. I just buy it right now, please. Bye.
And now back to the show.
So kind of bringing the interview a little bit back now to what you do, every day for your job.
Yeah.
Are there any calls that kind of jump out to you? Some of your best calls, some of the ones that come to mind?
Not really. I think I don't know. I see some of the crazy best calls you do are up north when you're far from help, and you
Yeah.
have to maybe stay with the patient for 24 hours because there's no nursing staff available in the clinic or whatever.
Because you were up in Prince George, I think, right?
No,
Or no,
I
Prince
was in
Rupert.
Dawson for 8 years and then went to Prince Rupert. So up in Prince Rupert, there's a helicopter taking you to some of these remote communities.
Yeah.
And not a lot of backup. Your partner is, someone on the other end of the phone in ambulance dispatch. Okay, I'm going to intubate this patient, and this is my plan.
Okay, yeah.
And normally you'd have a person to talk to, but you don't. You've got an LPN and a lab tech, and a doctor on a stick.
Right.
So you're like, ugh. So you call, someone in Vancouver to walk through the plan, and they're like, oh, that's your plan. Go ahead, Godspeed.
Right. Yeah.
And do said plan, and
Yeah.
and then fly the patient out.
Yeah.
And someone else can take over from there. So pretty different medicine up there for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely different. And down here, the camaraderie has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do a bad call, it's a big group effort, and I find that there's very little you have to train the people around you up down here to do. They know what to do already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because kind of
I can't think of
have the
any
experience.
specific.
No,
No? Yeah.
it's kind of interesting once you in Vancouver Coast, it's like because you have so many resources, it's like especially for me as a PCP, I just get to offload everything onto everyone else, it seems. I'm just like,
That's not true.
is
She's a phenomenal PCP, and she's
Yes.
definitely can think, and she knows the scopes above her PCP level, so she knows what to anticipate what we're going to do next. So don't sell yourself short.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then, you also get a lot of big calls without ALS being on the call.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And like we have that out here
Yeah.
as our closest our ALS truck is at least 8 minutes,
Yeah.
10 minutes away sometimes.
Yeah.
So it does allow you time to move and treat and package and get going and do
Yeah.
meets and kind of fun things like that. So,
Mhm.
you know, I like this question because I find we get to see like really like, common people doing like really kind things for
Yeah.
patients and families.
Yeah.
Does anything come to mind for you for that?
I don't know. I have an idea, but you got one?
Yeah, like for me, working in North Van, we deal with a lot of really elderly people.
Yeah.
And some of the most rewarding calls, and this seems really strange, are the ones where I've had a patient who's been doing MAID that day. And
They're doing MAID that
they've
day.
done MAID that day. And in the hours leading up to it, their family just hasn't been coping, or they're in palliative care and their family just doesn't understand what's going on. And so, like, recently, this was just in the past couple months, I spent 3.5 hours in someone's house with them as their loved one was very palliative end stage, and they just weren't prepared for what that was going to look like.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it is really rewarding. Like, medically, I didn't really do too much. It was a lot of social, and like through doing like the palliative leap course and all that, like you're able to help them with their palliative meds and introducing the family to how to
Mhm.
use them and helping them make their loved one more comfortable. Or
For sure.
spending that 45 minutes on scene with someone the day they're doing MAID is just a really, really powerful to
Mhm.
be in someone's life at that
Their
point in
darkest.
Yeah,
Yeah, and make it suck less.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
making it
Because it's
suck
going to
less.
suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And being
Oh,
able to have that real conversation with the family and being like, I'm really sorry you're going through this. This really does
exactly.
freaking suck.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but
Someone wise once told me, like, you could be the perfect clinician and nail the medicine 100%. But if you are an asshole, that's what they're going to remember.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Versus, mediocre medicine, and maybe you flubbed up a little bit here, but if you treat them with kindness and you just treat everyone like they were your grandma, they're going to remember that, and they're not going to remember any mistakes they've made.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the best pieces of advice I got when I started was kind of like what you said, treat everyone like your grandma, except he said, treat everyone you would a family member or a friend.
Yeah.
Which is so true because you wouldn't screw over a family member or a
No,
friend. You would
100%.
be able to like, oh, they're not at their best today. I'm gonna just look past it and continue treating them well and all that kind of a stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Um, can you talk a little bit about the time that you were off with the PTSD component a little bit? Just because I was curious of what sort of signs and things you were kind of, well, that and also kind of the signs that you were seeing leading up to it as well.
Yeah. So I guess to start with talking about how we are not normals. I call people
Right.
normals, and we are not them. We've chosen this job, and I mean, I do this job here, overseas, lots of different areas. But this is the life we've chosen, and we have our side hustles and that things. But we can't expect the normals in our life to fully appreciate it and understand it, because then they'd be dealing with the same trauma.
Yeah.
Right. So, my family, like Curtis, Aaron, Tyler, my parents, everybody, they support me 100%, but I can't expect them to fully understand it, so they leave a few things out because it would be just not fair. So
Yeah.
then you have to find.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring it home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you have to have, I believe, this is my anecdotal theory, that like, trauma that you experience is kind of like bad gas. And if you don't let it out, it festers.
Right.
That's a great analogy.
It's like, I've been so lucky in most of my jobs all over the place that I've had a team or a squad or a group that I could, like, debrief with after the call. I had an amazing boss when I was up north working in all these, like, tiny little places all by myself. Great boss that backed me, great teammates that backed me. I have a lot of RCMP friends that I've built over the years that also get it, and they experience the same shit, right? So you have that outlet in which to kind of let the gas out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And what I found was that was fine for me. Like I can go to things and process it and like let it out with my core group of people. But at one point, I moved to a different job, and it was very much a boys' club. And you could tell right from the get-go that they didn't want me there. In fact, they were very open about that.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah.
don't want you here. Okay, great.
Thanks for the welcome.
So in my mind, I was like, that's okay. I'll win them over.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. But it wasn't. And then like I found myself didn't have that outlet. Didn't have any family, friends, anybody there. So I just go home and stare at a wall. That's when I didn't let the harsh shit out. And that's when it affected me. And it felt like it affected me overnight. And I found I was like hesitating, can't make a decision, not sleeping. Just starting to go into this spiral. And then everyone around like, what is going on with you? They don't recognize you. And then like your employer doesn't support you. Nobody believes you when you're saying these things. And it just keeps compounding. And then on top of it all, you're still going to traumatic things at work.
Yeah.
Just compounding and compounding. And finally got to a point where like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I went off. And then the loneliness kind of continued. It wasn't until I got out of there that like improvement began. It's been a long time to get myself back to normal. I've had, again, like RCMP counseling that has been fantastic. And then, move to a different location, get yourself out of that shitty situation. And it's just been getting better and better and better. And I find I'm like back to where I was before. And now I still go to horrible things and still experience horrible things. But now I have friends and teammates and a decent boss again that I can, offload things to and that understand where I'm coming from.
It's a lot better than it was before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all about building that team. So again, like this group of girls we're going to go to the rally with, they are kind of like what I picture people that I would offload some of my stuff to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have to, know, like they're the ones that understand it, because they do the job. And, we all kind of help each other out that way by doing the whole shop talk, and the bumper talks and, talking about a call, unpacking it a little bit,
And there's another person really wise told me that if life keeps handing you lemons, you can make lemonade for so long until you're just drinking sour acid.
Yeah.
You need to change your beverage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So you
that's
get
true.
over there and make a change. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I found that the critical incident stress has been good because I was recognizing I was like waking up still thinking about a bad call one time.
Yeah.
And the reason why that happened was because it happened right at the end of my last night shift on the last call. So you kind of just go from a bad call to it being over. You get in your car, you go home, you shower, you go to bed.
Yeah.
So you had like no time to really process or talk to anyone about it. You just want to get off. Yeah. So then when I was realizing I was still thinking about it while I was making my breakfast, I'm like, I'm going to call someone.
Yeah.
And it was a lot. It was helpful. I just spoke to someone at the Save on Foods parking lot, in my car, Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Have you dealt with anything, Kelly, with, having
I
to
actually took a year off.
access? Yeah, year off. Yeah.
I was off for a year as well. I actually didn't recognize the symptoms in myself. It was my spouse who
It was
did.
the spouse that was,
And he's a Mountie, very lucky. And I came home from work one day and he said, "You're not good anymore." And he was like, he pretty much told me that if I tried to go to work, he wouldn't let me because I hadn't slept for a couple of days. And
Okay.
and it was just like a compounding, like a buildup of everything. I had been working so much to try and push everything down, that it just eventually, it boiled over. And taking that kind of change of scenery, like I went from having, not super great supervisor to having a mediocre supervisor. And then when I went off and I came back, I switched platoons entirely. And I came back and I had just like phenomenal leadership and support when I came back, and great partners. And
Having a great
opportunities.
boss is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, our manager right now on the Depot team is really good. Ryan Top,
Yeah.
like
I
his
used to work
name,
with
right?
Top in dispatch.
Yeah,
Good dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's all about support,
Yeah.
and he wants to be there and help, and he is always mobile. He'll always kind of make sure that he touches base with you and checks in and sees how
That
you're doing, and if you can help with anything.
That's what you want in a supervisor, right? Like
Oh yeah,
supervisor should it's a support role in the end.
yeah.
It shouldn't be there they are there for a purpose, but
Mhm.
like in my mind it should be a support role.
Yeah.
And how did you take that when your husband said that? And were you
I
like,
bargained
oh,
with
okay,
him.
you
I
were bargaining, yeah,
with him. I was like, oh, I have like 2 weeks. I have a block off, and then I'll sort it all out
Right.
over my vacation block and blah blah. And he's just like, you have to stop. He's like, you're not going to
Right.
work.
He's a smart dude.
Yeah,
Don't listen to
Right.
him.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for a year or two, then how did you find it was the right time to go back?
I was getting bored.
You were getting
basically,
bored, yeah.
Which is like I went from filling my days with all my appointments and all that stuff and taking care of myself and just getting back to it. And then the last few months before I went back, I was like, I'm really bored. Like I miss it.
Yeah.
And I went back and I had a brand new partner at work, and him and I had worked together before I went off, like when we were both e-break still. And I was just so lucky to have him. And then he left me, broke my heart.
I hear you.
And
We've
then
all been there, haven't
Yeah,
we?
exactly. And then
Losing a great
my
partner.
Jess became my
Yeah.
great partner, and I was just so fortunate.
Yeah.
And then I started working with Sarah quite frequently that summer. Like I think we were partners pretty much all last summer.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
I
I worked at
no regular
47 like
partner for a
every
while.
Yeah.
block.
Yeah, 47 on Sequitude is the place if you want to work at a here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tried that time when they were just like, no, we have to have the spots open for the mentees and stuff. And then,
Oh yeah.
I've worked one T-paired ALS car so far. and
Yeah,
that was in
it's,
49, but it's good.
Yeah.
Because I've been told, like, as long as you just go in with an open mind and you want to learn, I
it's
think,
just a different look at this. We're all going to the same calls.
Yeah.
Right, and it's ACP adds a layer. You add a little bit more diagnostic. Usually, not always. We're a little older, a little more experienced, but not always.
mhm.
You can add a little bit of experience to the call, a little bit of medicine, a little bit of pain control, but for the most part, the PCPs are who are getting it done.
Yeah. Yeah,
They're sprinkle a little bit of this and that to
Right.
bleed, a little fentanyl here and there, but
Yeah.
without the basics being done, it doesn't get done.
Yeah. I've been copying like the way, ALS and even doctors kind of manage a room,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is sort of like really getting good at delegating, understanding kind of what you need to do and the questions you're going to ask kind of before you get to the patient,
Yeah.
unless you're really worried about the airway or something, you just kind of jump on it right away. But if it's sort of like a dynamic thing, you're like, okay, so I've been working with a lot of newer medics. I'm kind of trying to teach that
Yeah.
to people because I tend people just kind of get right in there. And I think that's
Which
a
is
big
easy
thing.
to
That's,
do.
oh,
You
for
can
sure.
just focus
Yeah.
on the thing that's like bleeding and spurting, and
Yeah.
then the other things go on the wayside. Yeah, so that's human nature,
Yeah.
right? Once that
Yeah,
sympathetic
exactly.
nervous system gets stimulated and
Yeah.
focus, your eye you actually narrow your vision.
Hmm.
Like it's proven.
Yeah.
When you're under high stress, you
Yeah.
actually don't see the big picture. So that's
Right.
you got to be able to
Yeah.
make yourself out of it.
The last time I had to do that, like an arterial, I'm kind of like, clamped and I'm like, okay. And then I just like ran the call with like one hand on it and then the rest of
Yeah.
telling people to kind of do all these things, package the patient up.
Yeah.
And it was a good call, motorcycle MBA, so we were touching a little bit on, like kind of coping skills and things that, we kind of both do, that we all do to kind of help. Do you have anything else that you do to kind of help unwind? Um,
Well, without sounding like a broken record,
Mhm.
limiting alcohol is huge. We all go and have that beer after.
yeah.
But, if it's more about the camaraderie, that's a good thing. Then, the beer itself, if you find yourself sitting there having 6, then maybe it's not around the camaraderie anymore,
Yeah. Right.
right? So you limit alcohol, that's proven to, making for hydration, which clearly you're thinking about it. And, eating, right? Don't go and drown your sorrows in some, at the McNugs, which is easy to do.
Yes.
Right. There's all these things that they teach us that are just, hard to actually put into practice, but we should try. And exercise, fresh air, sunshine. And if I could say one thing, it's get a dog.
Get a dog.
Or a kitty.
Yeah, or a cat.
Animals.
Yeah.
Animals are rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, you roll home, you look like hell. Maybe there's some residual puke on your knee.
It is the best day of their life.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're back.
Yeah.
And they just love you no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, they distract you too, and they just, they make you get all squishy,
blood
ooey gooey.
pressure.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Kelly? Any things else that you do?
And travel.
In travel,
Travel,
yes. Yeah.
Traveling. Make sure you have a good support network. Everything Sarah said just really hit the nail on the head. But
Build your team, travel, all the health things you talked about. Get a dog.
Get a dog. Yeah. Animals. I got really big into gardening. Like a lot of women of a certain age be into gardening.
And you just that stabbing at that root ball with this thing.
Yeah.
Was very therapeutic.
Yeah.
Let out all that back out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
My friend Andrea just one of my old partners I just loved. She just sent me some pictures of her garden that she's growing, like, a lot of these small plants that she's gonna plant and stuff, and it's helping her out as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
We're all
epic container garden going on my
Well, I want to thank you for coming out. I really appreciate you coming out on this Monday. It does go by quick, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh, before we finish, I would
Yes.
be remiss in my duties if I didn't promote my friend, Jeff Jacobs,
Yes.
Langley Township. Vote for this September. Vote Jeff Jacobs. You know Jeff.
We love Jeff
Awesome guy.
Jacobs. He's amazing.
He is amazing.
Yeah. I was actually thinking of having him on
You
for like a
should.
future show.
You should.
But yeah, just to like
Very good dude.
people understand, Jeff Jacobs has been running to try to get on like city council, I think twice already.
He missed it
And
2 years ago by like 2 votes.
the 2
It
votes,
was
that is
unbelievable.
brutal.
I'm like, that must be a joke.
Yeah,
You can't be serious. And he missed it by 2 votes.
it
Ugh.
happens. It
He's
happens.
such a good dude. He's
I
so
know.
like personable and
Yeah.
reasonable and like level-headed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think like Langley right now is just a bit bonkers
Is it? Yeah,
a little bit.
I'm not quite
You would like
familiar with
that
it. Yeah.
level-headed, mellow fellow that you need in there.
Yeah.
That's chill.
Well, and he's also been like really focused on it. He's not letting it get him down. He keeps trying, and he's been doing a lot of volunteer work and stuff too. So yeah,
Very good dude.
I love it. Vote Jeff Jacobs.
Vote
That's
Jeff
what-
Jacobs.
Speaking of elections,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a bit of shameless
Oh yeah.
promotion.
Kelly's
Okay,
first.
there you go, Kelly.
Yeah. So I've been nominated for the 2 West region to be our regional shop steward. So I'm shelping for votes.
Okay.
Across the platoon. So
Perfect.
Already
Yeah.
voted.
Thank you.
Go into the APBC site and cast your
PC
votes.
less than 60
right?
seconds.
Yeah.
Kelly Thompson. Love to represent you.
I will vote for you, Kelly. I
Thank
promise.
you.
Yeah. Well, good luck to both of you.
Thanks.
Next May, I can't wait to hear about it,
Yep.
and we'll let everybody know that's listening of the results. And I'm
Yeah.
excited for you. I think it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Too.
Right?
I think it'll
Yeah.
be good.
Go
It's gonna be
team.
great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Go
Awesome.
team. Yeah, thanks. Peaches for
Thanks, Peaches.
tolerating us.
My cat Peaches has been hanging out with us, just
Having a bath.
licking away, jumping on legs. Yeah, exactly. All right. Awesome. Take care.
Thanks.
And now it's time for this episode's featured artist. This is a friend and coworker of mine for BC Emergency Health Services. He did everything on this track, and I mean everything. He sings, plays the guitar, bass guitar, piano, and the drums, plus producing and mixing the song. Here's the super talented Jordan FRIESEN with his song Last Goodbye. Check this out.
In the spaces between where we thrive or fail, inches from being a walking cautionary tale. Well, you left me here with a love accounts in arrears. I wounded too far, way too long. I became the poster boy for regret. I crossed that line. And I was your fool, but I have seen the light. I don't want your fickle love. No, your love ain't right. Don't want your love ain't right. And now you're coming back for what remains, my bride. You've always had your way, but I will have my say this time. Yes, I've been the man where you've wiped your feet, your lies, but I've dusted off. I've stood up for this our last goodbye.
Love it. Love that song. Love that musician. That was my friend and colleague, Jordan Friesen, with his song Last Goodbye. Want to thank Sarah Shaw and Kelly Thompson for driving out to my house and agreeing to be on the show. The fundraiser they hosted in New West was a big success, and I wish them all the best of luck as they get ready to compete at Rallye. I'll update all of you about how they do in a future episode. Also, a special thanks to my wife and kids for continuing to do audio bits for me. It's a lot of fun, and I really appreciate it. That's it. Thanks to all of you for listening. Remember to hit that follow button at the top of the page. New episodes come out every 3 weeks. You can reach me on Facebook and by email at standuppodcast@outlook.com. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be kind to each other, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.